Hi, my name is Jayme, and I'm a teacher with YYOGA. I'm also one of the teacher trainers for our YYOGA 200-hour teacher training program. This is Katrina, and today I'm going to lead her and you through a newbie-styled flow class. I want to encourage you before I begin to have blocks, not necessarily these blocks. If you don't have them, that's okay, but something like thick books or cushions, blankets, anything that's going to help make some of these positions a little more accessible for you to get into. All right, so we're going to begin in child's pose. What Kat's going to do now is she's going to sit back on her heels, take the knees apart, and bring her forehead down onto the mat. Now, this isn't necessarily accessible for everyone, so if you have trouble getting your head down, you can put a block or whatever you're using for your prop underneath your forehead. If this is bothering the ankles, then you can put a rolled up towel or blanket underneath the feet. The other thing you can do if the knees are bothered is put a cushion or again a towel or a blanket behind the knees. Comfort is the name of the game in this pose. And then from here, I'm just going to ask her to start to deepen her breath. So breathing in really deeply, you can actually see how our back body's really lifting and stretching here, and then exhaling really, really slowly. And the deeper you breathe, the more you're going to be able to stretch out the lower part of your back. Wonderful. And then from here, I'm going to ask all of you to come into tabletop position. So bring the shoulders forward so that they come right over top of your wrists. You can bring the knees in so that they're right underneath the hip line. You can have your toes tucked or untucked depending on what's more comfortable. We're going to start to warm up the spine with something called cat-cow. Really lovely way to bring energy and length into the spine. So on the inhalation, you're going to lift your chest up and tilt the underside of your pelvis up. So you get a deep hammock shape with your spine. And then exhale, round the back body. Push into the hands, pull the chest, the belly up into the spine to get that nice stretch. And then keep following the breath. Inhaling to widen across the chest, lift the underside of the pelvis, and then exhale, reverse it all, pulling the front body up into the back body for that nice stretch. Let's take two more like that. Inhaling slowly and exhaling to reverse it. The slower you breathe, the better. One more set. Breathe in. And breathing out. I highly recommend doing this every day, right away in the morning. Great way to wake yourself up. All right, from here, step forward into what we call Uttanasana, standing forward folds. Bring your feet to the top of the mat, hip distance parallel. If it's challenging for you to get your hands down, don't worry about it. Again, you have those props there to put in your hands, and there's a few height options. You can make them a little higher, a little lower if that's what you need. If this bothers your lower back, I'm going to suggest a deeper knee bend. You release through the back of the neck, let the crown of the head be nice and heavy, and take a few breaths here, just allowing the weight to settle into the soles of your feet evenly. Take another breath in and out. And then from here, lift up just halfway. So bring your hands to your shins, pull your spine and waist forward, big breath in, and then exhale, bow back into your legs. And then bring your hands to your hips, press through your feet as you inhale, come to standing, nice and slow. And then exhale, release your hands down beside your hips, your palms face forward. We call this Tadasana, mountain pose. We just want to be really rock solid in the feet. Gather a little bit of energy through the legs by hugging them into the midline, flattening the belly into the spine, and then gathering some space across the chest, hugging the shoulder blades in towards one another, and then getting the neck nice and long, top of the head reaching up. Now we're going to start to move with breath as we do in a flow style class. So just following the breath, following the movements slowly. As you inhale, take your arms up and overhead, connect your palms together, look to your thumbs, and then exhale slowly as you fold forward to Uttanasana. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale as you lift up halfway, lengthening the spine and waist. As you exhale, step back into the top of a push-up. So I'm going to invite you to bring your knees down here and modify this a little bit for yourself. We'll set this first one up slowly. Bring the sides of the ribs, the belly up and in, and then hug the shoulder blades onto the back body so the chest is wide. Good. Now take one more breath here as you exhale, coming down into 8-point pose. So bring the chin and the chest to the mat, but keep the hips slightly elevated. And then as you inhale next, untuck your toes, lower your pelvis to the mat, roll your shoulders back, and just lift your heart just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, just to get some space across the chest. On your exhale, take yourself back into downward facing dog. So your toes will tuck. You're going to take your hips back and up into the sky, basically creating an upside down V with your butt as the point. Pull the hip creases back and away. For a lot of people, got tight hamstrings, so it's a good idea to bend the knees quite a bit so you can actually get the weight of the pelvis back into the legs so the arms aren't working that hard. Spread out your fingers, get nice and grounded through the knuckle pads of your hands, and then let your head hang. Take a nice big breath in. Nice long breath out. Let's just do one more like that. Breathe in and out. And then look to the front of the mat on your next inhalation. Then just walk your feet forward. As many steps as you need to come to the front of the mat. Ground your feet. Inhale, lifting up just halfway. Bring the waistline forward. And then exhale, fold back in. Uttanasana, forward fold. To standing. Inhale, get strong in your legs. Reach your arms up and overhead. Connect your palms. Exhale, bring the hands down the center line of the body. Back to Tadasana. Let's try that again a little more fluidly. So as you inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, step back to the top of a push-up, bring the knees down. Exhaling, 8-point pose, chin and chest touch, hips stay slightly up. And then inhale, come forward, untuck the toes, lower the hips, cobra, lift the heart, widen the chest. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Hips to heels and then back and up to the sky. Great. So hands are outer shoulder distance, feet are outer hip distance apart. Knees are as bent as they need to be to get the weight of the pelvis back into the legs and the side waist nice and long. On your next breath out, lift up through the abdominal wall, bring some strength to your core and support your spine. Really nice position for lengthening out the spine. On your next breath in, look forward. As you exhale, you can step forward, walk as many times as you need to get to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Come all the way to standing, take your arms up and overhead, connect your palms. Exhale, bring your hands down the center line of your body, Tadasana, mountain pose. And then just take a moment here to let everything settle. It's always good to take little breaks, let everything relax and integrate. Wonderful. As you inhale next, take your arms up and overhead. Follow your exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale as you lift up halfway. On your exhale, step your right leg back, left leg is forward, setting the feet for warrior two. So your back foot is going to be parallel to the short edges of the mat, the heel is down. Your front heel will line up with the middle of your back foot. Once you have your feet set up, your front knee is bent, tracking right over your ankle. Take your arms up and overhead so that your shoulders are right above your hip points. Allow the weight to settle into your feet. Guide your front knee to the left side of your mat while you hug the left side of your pelvis in and back and down. And then anchor your tailbone, the lowest part of your spine, down to the mat so you can feel your low abdominals pull up towards your heart. Keep the collarbones nice and wide as you hug the shoulder blades in. Relax the top of the shoulders, keep the neck spacious, and keep breathing calmly here. You're starting to feel the leg muscles heat up, shake a little bit. That's normal, that's a good thing, that's the strength building. This is such a good pose for strengthening the legs and opening up the hips. Now flip your front palm so that it faces up. And as you inhale, lower your back hand down along your leg and reach your left arm up to the sky. Big side body stretch. And then follow your breath, come back to the warrior two, exhaling. Good, let's take that 2 more times. Big breath in, reach the left arm up, stretch through the side waist. Exhale as you flow yourself back into warrior two. 1 more time, inhale, reach up. And pause here, just a few breaths. Bring your front ribs in, they tend to burst out, and keep lifting and lengthening through the middle part of your spine, the back of your neck, really reaching through those fingers. Push your front shin forward just a little bit more. I know this is work. Take 1 more big breath in. As you breathe out, take your hands to the mat. Step back to the top of a push-up. Bring your knees down. Exhaling, 8-point pose. Inhale as you come up into your cobra, hips down, shoulders back, open the chest. As you exhale, come back to either child's pose or downward dog, and we'll take 3 breaths here just to let everything settle before we do the other side. So child's pose, again, really nice way to calm the nervous system and find the breath. And then make the transition to downward dog if you're in child's pose. Look forward to the front of the mat, inhale, and exhale, step your way forward, Uttanasana. As you inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to standing, arms to sky, connect the palms. Exhale, hands through heart center, mountain pose. Let's take the other side. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in and step your left leg back so we have the right leg forward. Setting up warrior two, also known as Virabhadrasana 2 in the Sanskrit. So the back foot is parallel to the short edges of the mat. The front heel lines up with the middle of the back foot, and then take the arms overhead, keeping the front knee right over top of the ankle. Spread your toes, root evenly into the soles of the feet, and then start to pull the feet in towards one another, scissoring the inner thighs, getting those leg muscles nice and fired. And then we do typically need to work hard to steer the front knee out to the right side of the mat while hugging the right side of the pelvis in and back and down. Drop the tailbone, engage the core, and then see if you can press your front shin forward just a little bit more. Really nice. Soft through the top of the shoulders, long through the neck. Now rotate your right palm so it faces up. Goddess warrior. Inhale as you drop the back hand down, reach the right arm up, and then follow your exhale to come back into the warrior two. Try not to lean forward here. Inhale, reach up and back. And then exhale into your warrior two again. One more time. Inhale, reach back and up, holding goddess warrior. Try to avoid collapsing in the upper back. Keep the front ribs drawing in, that sit cat, and lifting up through the middle part of your spine and the back of your neck. Take another big breath in and out, really inflating that right lung. One more inhale. On your exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step back, high plank. You can bring the knees down, exhaling through 8-point pose. Inhale, cobra. Open the chest, lengthen the neck, and then exhale. Again, child's pose or downward dog. Great rest, both of them. Both of them do a lot to help stretch out the lower back. And again, just relax yourself, coming back into the breath, keeping everything nice and calm. And then transition, downward facing dog. Look to the front of the mat as you breathe in and come forward, Uttanasana. As you breathe in, lift up halfway. And exhale as you forward fold. Root the legs, reach the arms. Inhale, connect the palms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down the center line of the body. And again, Tadasana, take a moment here, let it all settle. Lovely. Take the arms up again, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in as you lift up halfway. As you breathe out, step your right leg back. So setting up in low lunge. So your back knee is going to be on the ground, and you might need blocks in your hands in order to get them down onto something. So just know it's a good idea to use your props to anytime you need to bring the floor up to you. So low lunge, we want to start with the front knee right above the ankle. Pull the left hip back a little bit as you roll the right hip forward, squaring up the pelvis. Lengthen the tailbone, lift the low belly, get strong in your core. You can stay right here, great hip opener. You could also choose to bring your hands up onto your thigh, coming up a little bit higher. And then the final version of the pose, known as Anjayanasana, would be to reach the arms up and overhead. But you stay with whatever stage is working best for you, whatever stage that allows you to keep focusing on your breathing, even as you challenge your body. So bring your front ribs in. That's it. And then wrap the shoulder blades in, widen the chest a little bit more. The head of the arm bones back a little more. Get nice and lifted and long through the waist. Beautiful. Take another big inhale, exhale here. And then we're setting up for a twist. So take your right hand to your outer left knee and your left hand to your hip. That's it. Keep pulling up through the belly, lifting up through the back body, and really working the action of wrapping the left side of your waist back and in to really get the twist happening from the lower half of the trunk. And then once you have that, you can take your left shoulder back a little bit more. It's a great twist. If you wanted to go just a little bit further, you could try taking your right elbow outside of your knee and joining the palms together. Just an option. Widen the chest, take the arm bones back, lift the heart, lengthen the neck. Take another breath in and out. One more big inhale. And then as you exhale, unwind the upper body and reach to hold your blocks again or whatever you're using for props. Ardha Hanumanasana, hamstring opener. So start to shift your hips back, and I should have mentioned this before, I apologize, but if you need support underneath your back knee, a good option is to fold the mat over or even to put a blanket or towel underneath it. So as far as the front leg goes, a lot of us are going to have the knee bent just because we don't have hamstrings that are super open like Kat does. Pull your toes back towards your pelvis and push out through the balls of your feet. And then just make sure the hips are square. We're working the right hip forward and really actively pulling the left thigh bone up and back into the hip socket. And the temptation often here is to sit the butt back. Instead, think about drawing the waistline forward and reaching the heart towards the front big toe. And then that'll give you lots of feedback. And before you get too distracted about the state of your hamstring, just try to redirect your focus to your inhale and your exhale, that nice, calm, steady breath, which allows the muscles to relax a lot faster. Okay, take one more cycle of breath here. And then slide your blocks, your hands forward, step forward to Uttanasana. As you inhale, take a halfway lift. And exhale to forward fold. And come to standing again, reach the arms over, really grounding the legs, stretch through the fingers. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center, mountain pose. Let's take one, or take it on the other side. Apologies, I'm tripping my words here. Take your arms up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in as you lift up halfway. As you exhale, step your left leg back, lower the knee, so you can support the knee by folding over your mat or putting your blanket underneath your knee. And let's start with the blocks or fingertips on the mat. So start by squaring up the hips in the low lunge by pulling the right hip back, the left hip forward. Lengthen the tailbone and lift up through the low belly. Get strong in your core. That's it. And again, if this is what you did on the other side, stay here. Otherwise, bring your hands onto your thigh. And staying here, or perhaps taking your arms up above you on Jayanasana, low lunge. Soften the front ribs down and in. We tend to hinge in the upper back and collapse the ribs out, which gives us less space for breath. So when you bring your front ribs in, focus on breathing into your back body. That will help stabilize your shoulder girdle as you hug your shoulder blades in, get a little wider and spacious across your chest. Beautiful. Take one more inhale, finding the twist. So as you exhale next, take your left hand to your outer right knee. Your right hand can come to your hip. Bring the right side ribs back and in, and then take the right shoulder back a little bit more. That's it. Again, staying here, or if on the other side you took your elbow to your knee, this time it'll be the left elbow, and your right hand can stack on top of your left hand. Push your palms together, lift your heart to your thumbs, and lengthen through the back of your neck. Take another breath in and out here. One more breath in. As you breathe out, unwind your twist. Twists are so good for the spine. I invite you to do them every day. Ardha Hanuman, hamstring opener. So reach for your blocks. Shift your hips back, no further than your back knee. So your left hip should be right in line with your left knee. And then square your hips. Pull your right thigh bone back, your left hip forward. And then again, instead of sticking the butt back, reach the side waist forward. Your front knee can be as bent as it needs to be. We're seeking sensation in our practice, not appearance. So it's okay to have a bent knee as long as you feel that stretch in the back of your front leg. You are absolutely doing this pose. Let's take another big inhale, exhale. And then bend into your front knee, walk your blocks forward, and step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, nice and long through the side body. Exhale, forward fold. And then from here, I'll just have you bend your knees and come to lie down on your mat. Lie back and we'll do one little heart opener. So bend the knees, bring the feet in. Yeah. Feet are about hip distance apart and the heels are relatively close to the glutes. Place your hands flat down on the mat, palms down. Lengthen the tailbone. Feel the response from your low belly hugging down to your spine, and then pin your outer shoulders into the mat, feeling the chest widen and the shoulder blades hug in. And then as you root into your feet, your outer shoulders and the back of your head, allow your hips to just float up off of the mat. Bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Tip the chin back. We want to make sure that the weight stays in the shoulders and the head and it's not flattening out the neck. This is a really lovely heart opener. If you wanted to go just a little bit further, you could choose to interlace your fingers together underneath you and walk your shoulder blades in a little more. And then as you pin your hands down, you'll notice the hips, the ribs, and the chest lift up a little more, giving you a deeper heart opener. But if that's too much for your neck, your shoulders, having the hands flat on the mat is still great. And then take one more cycle of breath here. And then release the clasp of your hands if that's what you have. Bring your spine back down to the mat, your hips back down. And just take a moment. And then bring your knees into your chest so that your lower back gets a nice little stretch. You can do this in stillness. You can rock from side to side. I like to do little circles, kind of massaging the sacrum into the floor. And then the final pose I'll leave you with today, second to final pose, is happy baby. So we'll take the knees wide of the rib cage, flex the feet, and then aim the soles of your feet to the ceiling like you were standing on it. And then you can hold the back of your thighs. So just hold the back of the thighs for now, Katrina. There we go. Pull the knees down. This is the most accessible version of the pose. You might be able to hold your outer shins, your ankles, even the baby toe edges of your feet. You want to keep the back of the pelvis and the shoulders relaxing onto the mat. And this is a relaxing pose. So make sure that you choose the option that allows you to feel really relaxed and soft here. You can do little rocks side to side. That can be kind of nice. Really nice way to stretch out the lower back, open up the hips. Happy baby. And then we'll finish in Shavasana, rest pose. So now you'll stretch the legs out wide and straight. This is the final pose. It should be at the end of every practice. It's an opportunity for your mind to settle and your body to really integrate and process everything that's happened. So my invitation to you is to stay for as long as you like, minimum of 3 minutes, longer if you can. Thank you so much for joining us in this newbie flow. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to check out our other videos in the YYOGA online library.